Hello, I am Harshika Narula from grade 6B. I study in Radcliffe School. I have made another Python program using the help of Think Child Labs Ronak sir. So in this program I have made a student system, which means like for example you get marks from your exams. So what your teachers do, they write in each and every paper that this is the percentage, this is the grade, and etc. So instead, by using this system, they their work can be easier. So in this program I have covered the topics list, tuple, set, etc. So let's see how it works. So first it is asking you, do you want to add student on the student system? Yes, I write. So it is asking at which roll number. In this program I've used dictionaries too. So here as you can see in the code, these are all dictionaries. So it will then ask you at which roll number do you want to add the student. So for example I write 1. It will ask with what name? Well, Harshika. Her English marks 54, maths marks 56, science marks 87. I have put random numbers, and then it is asking, do you want to update, change any student on the student system? Well, then I remember that I have written my spelling wrong, or maybe I have written a marks wrong. So I write, yes, I do. So at which roll number? So the roll number I put, I'll write it like 1. So then it is asking, like, I don't want to keep on writing the same information again and again. Like, I will remember again that Harshika was the name, and then her English marks were 54, her maths marks were 56, and so on. So it will directly ask, do you want to change name? So, well, yes. So it will ask, what name? So, Harshika. And then it will ask, do you want to change English marks? No. Maths marks? No. Science marks? Yes. So what? Then 78. So it is showing you the corrected form. So here you can see that the spelling was wrong, and in the ending it was showing 87. But here it is showing the correct one which I have updated. Then it is asking you, do you want to add student on the student system? Yes. At which roll number? Well, I want to add at roll number 2. With what name? Well, let's say any name you can put. It will ask English marks 65, 75, 87. It will ask, do you want to update or change any student on the student system? Well, now I know how to do it, but I'll just like try to tell you properly. So like I'll change a little things. So it like you can see the corrected form now. So it is saying first roll number is Harshika. So this dictionary tells you the name. So what I've used is that I kept the roll number similar in the English marks, maths marks, name, science marks, everything. So it is showing of the first roll number's name is Harshika. Its marks, English marks is this, maths marks, science marks, and second roll number is Nishtha. Her English marks, maths marks, and science marks. So to show you the code properly, I'll just write yes, and I will give the wrong roll number. For example, I wrote 3, but the 3 roll number does not exist. So it will show that this roll number does not exist. Do you want to add student? Yes. At which roll number? Well, 3. With what name? Let's say any name you can put. So like Adya. So it is asking enter English marks, or English marks, maths marks, science marks. Then it will show you, do you want to update or change any student? I feel no, it is enough. These are all my class students and I got every marks and everything. Now I need to take out that percentage and grade. So no, I don't want to change anything. Do you want to add? No, I don't want to add. So it will show a tabular form. So it is first showing okay, that you don't want to, and then it will show roll number is 1. So actually what it should show is properly in table form, but if we add tabular form then it will be more complicated, and I did not want to make it complicated. So I've written like that. It looks a little messy, but it at least shows the content we want to show. So it is showing roll number 1, name, English marks, maths marks, science marks, percentage, and grade. Then roll number 2, and it is showing properly. And how it is taking out the percentage and grade, I will show you in the code. So here then it will, in the ending, it will say thank you for using student system. So by this, what teachers can do, they can just copy it and then use it. They don't have to write everything down, and they don't have to take out the grade of every student. Then now let's see the code. So in the starting, I've used some dictionaries. So here I've written English marks, maths marks, science marks. It does not matter what name of the dictionary you put. So first it is so instead of name I've put it A, like anything you can put. Then English marks, maths, science, percentage, and grade. So these are the things we need to do in the end when everything is sorted out and every name, roll number is done. So after we say that we don't want to update and we don't want to add any student. After that, we will take out the percentage and grade of every student. And I've used a variable z. So in the starting, I've put it 0. Then it will tell you student system. So like whenever we use some app or something, it first tells the name. So here you can see it is telling the name, that what this is. Then it will ask you b is equal to string. So instead of string, you can put anything, eval, integer, float, if you want a number. But I wanted it to be a word, like yes or no in this case. And if you want to put the name, then also you'll have to use string. Like here you can see that it is asking with what name, and it is string. While in the others it needs numbers, so it is asking eval. Eval is nothing but integer and float mix. So if you have put integer and the person writes a float, for example, it can be sometimes that the English marks are 54.5. It can be. So then it will show an error that you should have put integer, but you have put a float. So to avoid that, we will put eval. Because if we put a float and then it gives an integer number, it can be a little tricky and problematic. So it is showing us string input. So input means that we, the customer or the person who is using the student system, should input it inside the code. So it is asking, do you want to add student on the student system? Well, yes, I do. So it is showing while. So here I've used a while loop. So it is telling while, matlab, till the time b is equal to yes. So in the ending also you must have seen that in the code, that in the ending also I've written that again b string, do you want to add a student on the student system? So if b is equal to yes, then only this program should run. It should not run when it is no or anything else. So if it is yes or no, then only some actual program will be run. If it is something else, then it will end the code there, showing that this is an error. It should be yes or no. So it is telling while b is equal to yes. So in my previous programs also I have told you that putting 2 is equal to is compulsory, or else it might show an error. Now look, I have put 1, so it is showing error. Here you can see that it is showing syntax error, and this is an invalid syntax. So it is compulsory to put 2 is equal to and double inverted commas, which means like if I don't put double inverters, I should not put double inverted commas when I'm putting numbers, because it does not need inverted commas because they are evals. But if I'm putting a string, that means it should be yes. Yes is not a function, not a number, not a float, not an integer. So it is a string. So it should have double inverted commas. As we see in print also, if we are printing a particular thing, like we want student system to be printed, we don't want a variable c or z to be printed. So we will have to put double inverted commas. So then I've asked roll number, name, English marks, maths marks, and science marks. So here you can see it is asking us that A of C. So what is A of C? Well, A, here you can see that A is nothing but the name of the dictionary, which is name. So it is showing us A of C. So what is C? C is a variable in which the roll number is stored. So keeping the roll number is important. So like you can see here that in the roll number, for example, like let me do it again. So I do want to add student, yes. At which roll number? 56. With what name? Harshika. English marks 56. Maths marks. So it will show the table of form. No. Yes, we'll do the program later on. So then it is showing us that A of C. So what is C? C is the roll number, like the roll number that we have put, which means that here it is asking which roll number are you putting now, right now. So what is the roll number? 56. So to change also we have to use that particular roll number only. So it will tell you, okay, the 56 roll number, this is the 56 roll number. And then it will tell you that the name, that means A. A should store this roll number is equal to D. Now what is D? D is the name. Here you can see that like I have put Harshika. So it is showing this is actually the A dictionary that we have made. So it is showing us that 56 roll number is Harshika. And as it is a string, so it is giving a single inverted comma. And then it asks enter English marks, which is H. So you will now print it as English C H. So what is C? Again roll number. H is English marks, and it is same with maths and science. So JK. I prefer to do all the codes in alphabetic order so you can remember which variable you have used and which you have not, or else it might make a confusion later on. And if you see that somewhere I have written little wrong variables, so that's actually when I get confused. So it is very important to remember which variables you use. Hence, go with the alphabetical order. Then it will print. So you can see here that it is printing. If you don't want it to print, it is alright. You don't need to print it. So for it is printing here that first print A, then print English, print maths, and print science. So with how this helps, I don't remember if I put the wrong spelling or right spelling. So when it prints, when it prints, I can see if the spelling is right or wrong, or if the marks are right or wrong. So it prints and then it asks. So this is another variable that do you want to update or change any student on the student system? So this is actually used when you have many more. So I've told you in the starting that sometimes it can be a mistake and you don't want to like delete everything you have done. For example, this was just the first time, so we can do it But for example, there are 44 students in a class and you have went till 40 and the 41 goes wrong. Then you can't erase everything and start again. So that's why it has option to change. Then it asks if E is equal to yes, which means that if you have said that yes, I want to change a student, then it will ask at which roll number. So roll number is actually the base at which everything stays. So if the roll number has a name, roll number has English marks, and so on. So then it asks, then it tells t is equal to 0. I've taken this variable. I'll tell you how it works in the end. So then it is telling that which roll number, and then it will run a loop. In the loop, it will ask if f is equal to g. So what is g? So g is another variable that I had used in the starting. So if f is equal to g, g is like the nothing but the roll number. Like if the roll number is present, then only it should go and run. If for example g in a, so right, like I've written here, so g is nothing but another variable that I've used. You can use any other variable like x, y, z, or anything. So here you can see I've used G and A. What does G and A means? Many times when you used a for loop, you must write for G in range. But here I've used in A. A was the dictionary, if you remember. So what will happen every time this loop runs? In the variable G, a value of A will come. For example, A is first 5 and then it is 6. So first it will take the value of 5 and then it will take the value of 6. Then inside the for loop I've written if f is equal to G. That means if f, which we have written roll number, is inside G, because sometimes as I show you in the program that it can be wrong. You could write the wrong roll number and you don't want to actually add the roll number. You want to change it. So if it is in G, then it will break out of this loop. Else it will again go to t is equal to 0, and then it asks you, it runs that if t is equal to 1. So again I've written 2 is equal to 0. You need to really remember this, or else your program will be waste and it will not work. So then it is asking that w is equal to string input. Do you want to change name? So like I told you that you don't want to write everything again when you want to update, and you don't even remember it right. So it will ask you, do you want to change name? If you write yes, then it will ask enter name and it will change it. Like it will change in the A list. What will it change? Well, it will change the roll number. As we had written here that F is the roll number. Here you can see F is the roll number. So it will change that roll number. It's equal to I. So the new name will put. And then it will ask O. So it is another variable and it will ask that do you want to change English marks? If yes, then it will run. If no, it will go to the next, which is P. And so on. And then it will again print. Like after you update, you need to check again that if you have written it correct or not. So it will ask you again that these are your new score or new list. Then it will say else. That means you had seen here now, if t is equal to 1, then this loop should run, and else it should write else it should write print this roll number does not exist. As I had showed you, this roll number does not exist. So then it will again go to the sentence. I had showed you in the starting of the code that this sentence is there. Do you want to add student on the student system? So if it is yes, then again it will go to the starting of the code. Right here, while b is equal to a, b is equal to yes. Or if it is no, like you can see here, I've put if b is equal to no. Again, 2 is equal to, it will ask for x in a. Again, I've not used for x in range. I've used for x in a. That means in the variable x, the value of a will be coming. So like you can use this list, set, tuple, etc. and as well as in dictionaries. So if you want to check each and every value of it, like if you want to check that if this number that you have put is inside this dictionary or anything, then you used for x in a. Then it will ask total. So total is just another variable. So what is total? Total is now a variable that is helping us to like take a sum of all the marks, to take out the percentage. So first it is taking English marks of x. Now what is x? Well, x is the roll number. How x is the roll number? Well, every time it in A, like you can see that A is nothing but the name wala dictionary. So it will, whenever it runs it will find the roll number, and you know that if the roll number is 56 in this, then it will be in Harshika, then it will be the same roll number in her English marks, same roll number in her maths marks, and same roll number in her science marks. So that way you can calculate that if English marks of x is same as, so all the x in here is the same roll number until the loop runs again, obviously. So it is adding all the numbers, like first it is 56, then 54, then 56. So it is adding, And as we take out a percentage, we divide it by the number of the subjects. So here we had 3 subjects. So we are doing Z. Now remember we had a variable Z in the starting right here. So now we are using that variable. You can even define it as just before you use the Z variable, but it is easy to keep all the variables together and all the dictionaries together. Then you don't need to search it throughout the code. So then you can see here that it is taking out the percentage, and then it is adding it to the percentage dictionary. Sorry. So in the percentage dictionary with the same roll number, again roll number is the base. So it is adding X, which is the roll number, is equal to Z. So what is Z? Z is the percentage. So it is adding the percentage with the roll number. For example, the roll number is 56. So it is adding 56, and for example, we'll take Z as 100. So it is adding 56 is equal to 100. So here you can see that this is how a dictionary should be written. And then you sorry, and then you can see I've written, now percentage is done. So we have taken out the percentage. Now let's recap what we have done till now. We have taken out the name of the person, we have taken out the English marks, maths marks, science marks, and percentage. Now what is left? Well, now the grade is left. So when you see a report card, you can see that there you get a grade. So here it is asking, it is first taking inside it that if Z, what is Z? Z is the percentage. So if the percentage is greater than 80, then it will show grade A. So what it will add in the dictionary? It will add the roll number with A. So in the dictionary of grades, you can see that this same roll number will have a grade A. So now you must think that how can a dictionary have both a string and an integer? Well, a dictionary has that extra, like feature. So then you can see that it is adding X of A. So then it will be easier to print in the end. Then it is telling more conditions, like if Z is less than 80 and greater than 40, you need to do it. This and is important, because if you don't do it, then if it is less than Z, that means if Z is less than 80, then first it will write B, but then it will change it to C. Why? Because in this also Z is less than 40, and in this also it is less than 80, then it could show the grade C, while it should show B. That's why you should put, if Z is less than 80 and greater than 40, then the grade is B. If Z is less than 40 and greater than 20, then it will show C. And if it is less than 20, which is very less, it will show D. And then it will show OK. So OK, now it is done. Like why it is showing OK, like you had seen in the end, when we ask, like here you can see, 1 minute, roll number 57 we'll put, name, anything, and then English marks, maths marks, science marks. So no and no. So in the end you can see it is taking out. So it first says OK and then prints everything. See here the OK is being printed. And then in the next it prints roll number. Like you can put the whole name, but I wanted to keep it short so that it can be easier. So roll 8, name, English, maths, science, percentage and grade. And here you can see that A of X. X again, it is the roll number. So A of X. First it will tell you the roll number. X is the roll number. So it will tell you that this roll number, its name is this. It is taken out of the name dictionary. Its English marks are this. Its maths marks are this. Science marks are this, etc. Now why I have put this /t? Well, /t is nothing, but if you need to put equal space, like for example here you can see that there are 3 gaps. Why are here 3 gaps? Well, because 2 gaps, because here it is telling you LT. So I've put no gaps, so it is automatically taking the same gap between role and name and 56 and Harshika. So it is taking the same gap. It should not take different gaps. Well, it with this function, it is at least being seen a little neater, or else it looks really bad. So then it will show everything it is printing, and you need to put it in double inverted commas. Here you can see there are already double inverted commas. So here you don't have to put them in different inverted commas, but here we are using variables with them. So you have to put double inverted commas. And now it is showing thank you for using student system. So now here the program ends. And here you can see that it is showing the grade and everything. So sorry. So here now you need to remember one thing that I did wrong when I wrote this program. I used the wrong slash. Like, what does the wrong slash mean? Well, you had to use this slash, but I accidentally used this slash. So it won't work if you had the wrong slash. So then I tried to debug it with Ronak sir, and he helped me. Hence, my program is made nicely. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll soon be back with another Python program. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.